That's it. This is it. This is the last morning. We're out of here.
And what a view to wake up to.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We started off the trip, the jump off, to amazing, amazing sky in the morning. And again, Algonquin doesn't disappoint.
Oh, I forgot. I'm Mark. That's Iain. And this is beautiful Algonquin Provincial Park. We're traveling through Canada's oldest provincial park in search of history from generations past. Remnants of an alligator. Find out when this was built and for what purpose it was for.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Join us on this adventure full of history, natural beauty, and all things Algonquin. Let's go camping. That'll dry in a hurry. Yeah! Titanium! Ah! Now this is solitude.
Yum, yum, yum. Good.
We're getting close to having a puddle on our doorstep. Don't push it too much, I'm hanging on.
Yeah. This is Mark in the Park.
That was awesome.
It's cool. You can see the mist is still like coming up over the trees
You
there.
can see the trees, and the trees are peeking out behind up there too, eh? Yeah. I love it. It doesn't even look like mist. It looks like a fog or a painting or something. It's just like really beautiful.
Now, surrounded by all this beautiful scenery, you might think that things are really clean around here, but the water has actually got a lot of little particles in it that you can't really see. So we have this handy dandy filter to clean out the water that we can drink it. And what we're going to do, what happens is all the little gunk and stuff gets stuck in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this syringe with clean water, and then we're going to backflow it. See the arrow of the water flow goes this way? We're going to put the water back through it and try and get some of that junk out so that we can continue cleaning our water for our trip. All right, so I'm going to put some clean water in here. All right, I'm going to stick it in here. Just get a good grip, because you want to seal that part up so that the water goes all through. Ew, I'm glad I'm not drinking all that. It's brown. So I've done that a few times so that we can get going on our filtering again. We're going to put it back on this way. And basically what you do is the guys like to sit on it, but all you need to do is put some pressure on the bottle and it will get some nice clean water that you can drink from. Delicious. Oh, I got a little friend. He was hitching a ride. It's like, take me to Cedar.
There you go.
Oh. Oh, man. It's my war paint for today.
Gotta put soap in those pans. I gotta put the pack. No, you can put it sideways? Okay. Thank you, campsite. Bye.
Man, everywhere you look, it's a picture.
Yeah. Beautiful lake. I took too many pictures today.
Well, hopefully we can put some up on the wall, eh?
I think so, yeah. That mist this morning really helped.
Where are we off to now?
At the end of this lake, there's a 2,285 meter portage down to the Petawawa River. So hopefully this portage will be a little kinder or more kind to us than the 1850 one yesterday. Yeah, so we're leaving Big George and heading down to the Pet and then up into Cedar Lake. So 3 portages, the last 3 portages of the trip are today. And then that's it, we're done. We paddle out tomorrow and trip's over. What do you think of that?
Well, I'm looking forward to the shower, the hot shower, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the weather's just been getting better and better now every day. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back to a little bit of the luxuries that civilization can offer. Hot shower, cold beer, hamburgers. You know the drill. I can get out right here. That's good right there. Thanks. Off the
goes up and up. Can't imagine doing this in the heat of the summer. We're gonna blow down. Need to cross over. Wouldn't want that falling on you. This might be disastrous.
My third break. I'm not killing myself today.
That's a lot of hill to climb.
Yeah, this one's okay. It's a tough portage, but yesterday's 1850 was still murder. That's my nemesis.
You can see forest fire came through here. Lots of evidence of it. A little bit more. And tilt back. There we go.
Beep, beep, beep. Holy cow.
Let's go! It doesn't look it, but that's pretty steep. This part is even steeper than the last. He reaches the rail bed. See all the slag on the ground? Straight down to the water.
That was one tough portage. I would not want to be going on this portage in the other direction. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, C-K. What you got? What you gonna do?
Rock you.
We're just gonna go downriver and look at a big tall bridge. Got two more portages to go, a 685 and a little bit of a beastie 960 into Cedar. So let's head up there and get them over with. Ah, that was a good portage, good workout. Really rocky. Ugh. But it's done. 2 down, 1 more to go.
On to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids portage. Yeah, up to Cedar Lake. Last portage of the trip, 960 meters up and into Cedar.
Wow, that is a bit of a climb there.
Oh, it goes up along the left. No, I wouldn't go that way.
Oh, it goes that way.
Yeah. Okay, last portage of the trip. It's a doozy at the beginning.
There's a comfy seat.
Oh, yeah. Love that chair.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is a beautiful view, too.
Yeah, it is.
That's a nice lake.
Oh, it is. One of my favorites. Gorgeous. There's the big dam on Cedar Lake here, where the Petawawa exits Cedar Lake, the mighty Petawawa. Tell me a little bit about its history, Ian. I think you're a bit of a history buff and you know a lot more about this than I do.
Yeah, I was reading up on it before I left. Unfortunately, we can't go any further than this, but there used to be a huge dam here, and it was built, they think around 1850, maybe even earlier than that. And then I think by 1853, they think there was in use because there was a guy who went through like on a survey trip, and he said that it was in use. And it was in use up until I think the last drive that went through was in 1945.
Wow.
And I think at that time it fell into, it may have been abandoned, so it fell into a state of disrepair. And then in 1960. There was a ice damage happened to it, so it basically just fell apart. I think that they've repaired some of it over there just to keep the water level up at a certain level for the lake. But yeah, you definitely want to heed the signs and not go any closer because it could, could pose a hazard. But it's pretty neat to see. I mean, there's not much left of it. But they would have been driving logs through this part here all the way down the Petawawa River.
Beautiful area of the park. It's a pleasure bringing you up here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's great to have you as a guide throughout the trip. All your knowledge of the park, and we just did our last portage, and all of your knowledge about camping in the bush. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. We got one more night ahead of us though.
Yeah, no more portaging, so we can just hop in our canoes and just paddle up the lake and look for a decent site to crash for the rest of the night, and then tomorrow we're out of here.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's head on down then.
Okay, man. So this is our last campsite of the trip. We're on Cedar Lake now. We finished those three portages. The first one coming off Big George Lake down to the Petawawa, and then the last two portages going up the Petawawa into Cedar Lake. And we're here on this rather long island with the lone campsite on it. And you can see it's loaded with pines. It's a big open site. It's a bit slopey, but it's a beautiful site for summer. Lots of breezes to keep the bugs away. Ontario, looks like Ontario Parks has been here. This site has been raked. It's fairly clean. I've never actually camped on this site. I've visited it many times, and I noticed that there's a couple trees missing since I was last here. There's also extra fire pits kicking around. I don't know what that story's all about. But there are some nice sites up here at top to place a tent. They're fairly level. So, and there's also one back there. So there's enough room here to put at least 2 or 3 tents up here, and maybe even more room if you don't mind sleeping on a slope. Usually I like to camp a little further down here on another island. It has a beautiful sand beach, but it was occupied, and so we pushed on to this one. So big disappointment there, but what can you do, right? And I think that's about it for now. I think Iain's he's sitting in the mudroom there, and he's taking his wet socks off and putting dry socks and shoes on, and he's going to relax, and portaging is done for the trip, and we're just going to set up our tents and probably get dinner going, and that'll be the last dinner, and we'll just relax and chill for a little bit. So yeah,
what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? I think mac and cheese. Yeah, mac and cheese. Yum, yum, yum. That's a good camping favorite. So
I hear there might be bacon involved.
There was supposed to be bacon, but I don't know if there is any. But if there is, yes, we'll see.
Maybe some will magically appear.
Yes, yes. What's with all the fire pits? Holy cow. I don't know. Shouldn't be doing that. Fire danger, you know, and all.
Ha! I don't know how you leave. You must be leaving in a hurry if you leave these behind.
Oh, look at this, a penny.
They don't make those anymore.
Oh, it's an American penny. Oh, okay. Trump supporters. No. It's pretty thin. It feels cheap.
You can't say that on TV, Mark.
Okay.
Those are bad words.
2004.
Gotta love compression sacks.
So I got a fire going here, and got a pot full of water. I'm gonna boil some water because we're gonna have some mac and cheese for dinner. And I found some bacon too. Ha! Success! Right now I'm making powdered milk. Noodle time. I add in the milk, and then the bacon, and then the cheese stuff. Oh, I got butter too, a little bit of butter. Bacon, aha. Milk. Cheese sauce. And, now the big stir. Iain! Where are you, Iain? Dinner!
Delicious.
Yum, yum, yum.
The bacon's a nice element.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Mm. Yeah, so this is our last talking by the fire segment. Our trip ends tomorrow. We're here on Cedar Lake, and it's quite a start to the day today, eh?
Yeah, it was amazing. I got up and looked around Big George, and man, everywhere you looked, it was like picture perfect. It was such a nice little lake to wake up on. A small campsite, but
Yeah.
I think all of the work that we put into getting there paid off, because we had solitude,
Yeah.
the solitude we were looking for, and just, man, like I said, picture perfect. It was amazing. Everywhere you looked was like a picture that you could take.
Yeah, it was stunning. It would have been nice if we had stayed there an extra night, because we pushed ourselves the last few days, and it would be nice to have a rest day when you're in a destination lake like that where there's just nothing around and you work so hard to get there.
Yeah.
That was really good. I remember you throwing up the food barrel there last night with your rope, and you really seem to get the hang of it now, eh?
After a few tries,
Yeah.
finally, after trying to overhand it, I did the old spin.
I know, and
spinaroo.
you got it right on that first try with that. But it's good
I
to
wasn't
see
too
that,
sure. I didn't want the rock to fly away.
It's good to see you weren't discouraged, though. I mean, some people would just give up after 2 or 3 and, oh, that's it. And it's like, well, that's not it. I mean, bear could come along in the middle of the night, right? And if that barrel's there, he's going to smell it for sure and go after it. So you just kept trying, and it's like, yeah, I got it, and you can hang up the food. And there have been times when I've cheaped out and just like, oh, it's too late, and I couldn't bother finding a tree, and I would just tie a barrel to a tree. And every time I've done it, I've slept terribly.
Yeah.
Because it's just bothering me in the back of my head all night, and you start to hear noises, and you're thinking, oh no, it's a bear. So not only does it, provide safety for you and your group, and it also keeps the bear from being habituated to a food source associated with humans. You also sleep better at night. At least I do.
I slept very well that night.
Yeah.
And then we got up, we had our breakfast, we packed up, and we got to it. We went to the first portage, I think, what was it, 2,200 meters?
2,285 meters, I believe.
And that one was it was tough. It was pretty tough.
Yeah, I found it was tough, but it didn't kill me like the 1,800 whatever meter portage that we were talking about the day before, my nemesis. That was just a different kettle of fish as far as portages were concerned. But the one we did today, it is a tough portage. Yeah. I would not want to be doing that portage from the Petawawa up into Big George. Like, we went the correct way to get into Big George, I think.
It's hard to remember, because we did 3 portages today, and they're all starting to blend together. Because sometimes you just saying to yourself, put one foot in front of the other. But the price, I kind of feel, and I think you would agree, it's the price you paid for admission to that solitude spot.
Yeah,
to get in there.
That's why you don't see many people in lakes like that, because like you say, it's the price you pay. You really got to work your tail off to get into a place like that, and a trip like this, overall was not your typical trip that a first timer to the park would do.
Yeah.
So like interior camping. So it was a big trip, especially for you.
Yeah.
And even for me, there was some new routes and portages in there I'd never done. It was tough work in there, but it's work I love. You know, it's a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of challenges on portages like that, but at the end of the day, we're here at camp. We had a good meal. We're having fun. You know, a bit of banter back and forth, collecting fire. We were just having a great time, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, and you know, we got to see a lot, and we got to see a lot of history. It was a lot of fun, you know, bushwhacking through the bush to find different things, and even today we saw the bridge, the old bridge there, and the dam.
Yeah,
that was
the
really
dam.
cool to see, and like from looking at the pictures in the past and looking at it what it's like today, and imagining, you know, like how it was. It's it's definitely a special place, you know. It's got a lot of history behind it, and there's a lot of stories, and it was neat to be able to get to all of those places and see all of those things.
Yeah, the trip through George was like maybe a little bit of a side trip, but it was kind of neat to see that bridge. Also, too, I was a little bit surprised the portage landing there, like the portage. We didn't do this one. The one that
Right.
goes around Devil Chute. It looks like it's been rerouted, and they actually moved the takeout a little further west along the Petawawa and into like a bit of a back bay. Because I don't know why, but I just know that the original takeout was like, it was this shale laden gravel path that was like a steep angle like this. It was silly.
It definitely looked a bit trickier than our last portage start. But that one was up.
Yeah,
and
the
rocky.
960 into Cedar Lake. That's
Once you
kinda
got
what it
up
was
there,
like.
though, it was all right.
But it was still a lot of climbing to begin with, and but yeah, it was a little bit tricky for sure.
I think the food pack on my back, even though you know, we filled it with a whole bunch of different things, but at each portage, I think it kind of got heavier and heavier.
I know, it's kind of ironic because as the trip goes along, your food barrel is supposed to get lighter and lighter. But with the camera crew, we had an extra pack, so we were trying to condense all the gear down, so they were stuffing extra gear into the food pack. So his pack was getting heavier and heavier. So it's kind of unfair to you, but we had to get the job done. So.
But we got into a
Single
routine.
carried, yeah.
Yeah, we got into a routine though.
Yeah.
Which was good.
And what I liked is we single carried, and you got used to the idea of single carrying. A lot of people to this day still do a lot of double carrying, and single carrying you can go a lot further, a lot faster. But it's tough.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say.
I think we had a lot of weight that a typical canoeist or a group of canoeists wouldn't normally deal with.
Yeah.
You know, so I know that.
But we get to bring all of those amazing shots to you guys at home. So
Yeah.
that's you know, that's a nice thing to do. What was your favorite part of the trip though?
My favorite part, like.
Do you have a memorable moment?
A memorable moment?
Favorite campsite?
I think climbing up the cliffs of Hogan Lake was probably the highlight of the trip for me. I really enjoyed that up there. Just enjoyed the view. It was a bit willy-nilly with paddling back to camp with those waves.
Yeah.
But favorite campsite? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between maybe Radiant and Burnt Root. I mean, I really loved the Burnt Root run, one on Burnt Root. And with the wind through the pines, it was really nice. I liked the one on Radiant as well. And we didn't really have much in the way of wind, but it was a beautiful sight among the pines. But there was a lot of traffic on Radiant. The planes, the helicopters, the motorboats. It was the trucks.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I would have to change my mind and go with Burnt Root and say Burnt Root was probably my favorite campsite. Plus we had a rest day there too, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say what, you know, because each place had sort of its own special thing going on. You know, from the cliffs of Hogan to, you know, Radiant Lake with, you know, the you know, just a lot of activity, and the beach and searching for the artifacts. Each place really had its own personality.
Yeah, like they say, you know, a campsite is what you make it. And like even on Lemure, when it was pouring rain, we were supposed to get showers, and we ended up getting rain for many hours, and we had to move our tent. It was still a fun campsite to be at. Yeah. You piled up the canoes around the fire pit, bit of a windbreak, and it made it more interesting. It made it cozy and comfortable in there. So it was pretty good. I pretty much enjoyed every campsite. There wasn't a campsite that I just, you know, that didn't put me off. You know, I've been to some campsites that are just like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta move on. Didn't have that experience this trip. So
we went through quite a range of weather and you know, obstacles that way.
Yeah.
You know, from wind and rain, and everything was wet, and then we'd have you know, a bit of and cold. Yeah. Yeah. We really had to like be prepared to adapt.
Yeah, it's especially this time of the year because the weather's starting to cool down, and you're busy sweating all day, and you know, as soon as you get to camp, you got to get out of those clothes because then you start to freeze up if temperature drops. So you want to pat yourself down dry and put on some nice dry clothes, and you can relax. Or if you have the time and the courage, maybe go for a swim and then dry off in front of a fire. Yeah. Right, and get changed into some dry clothes.
Yeah, I really had a really great time. I learned a lot from you, and it was great having you there to like tell us all about the history as we went along and different experiences that you had at the various places. And it's obvious that you've seen a lot of the park, and you're very passionate about it. And yeah, it's nice that you're you know, willing to share that with people.
Well, I was happy to share with you. I'm glad you were willing and able, and you had a good time, even though I dragged you through some really crazy portages. But I think you fared it very well, and you had a good sense of humor, and you had a really good, indomitable spirit. You're just like, okay, let's get this done. So I thank you for being yourself and putting up with me and trying to push you along. We got to get there now, you know. But yeah, it's been a blast. I had a great time. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. That's what I like to hear. And maybe I'll come back again sometime, you know. Maybe a little bit of an easier trip. Yeah. You deserve it, right? So
I think I'll definitely be coming back, for sure. Bring the family.
Right on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. So well, I guess that's it for us. That's it for Talking by the Fire. I guess maybe we got like one last job to do, and that's maybe go hang the food barrel. Yep. And you can maybe sit by the fire and relax, or just hit the hay, whatever. But that's the last thing we got to do. And then that's pretty much it. We got tomorrow morning, and we're gone. Yep. So you want to go hang the food barrel?
Let's do it.
All right. Bye.
See ya. Hey, look at this. I was just walking up I was just getting some water for the fire, and I noticed that there was some glass sticking out of the ground. So I started digging it out, and look how much I've found. Like, it's a whole bottle, and it was just like sticking right perfectly out of the ground. If somebody had stepped on that, it would have been game over. They would be stuck. They could be stuck here, not be able to like portage. It was just so dangerous, like. So irresponsible. Well, we're gonna pack this out. Maybe I'll come back and look for some more, but I'm gonna find something to put this in. Just packing up. Last morning in Algonquin, and it doesn't fail to impress. Look at that sky. What do you think, Mark?
This is a fine morning, fine way to end the trip. What do you think?
Yeah, you're silhouette, like we can't see you, but we're looking at what's behind. Woo woo!
Beautiful.
Yes, now. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Holy cow.
Little scruffy, eh?
Oh yeah, big time. That's it. This is it. This is the last morning. We're out of here.
And what a view to wake up to.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We started off the trip, the jump off, to amazing sky in the morning, and again, Algonquin doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's always something that just that makes the day special. Every day up here, whether it's sunrise, sunset, seeing a moose, hearing a loon, having a campfire, seeing a toad, just whatever it is, it's just different, it's unique, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. And above all, it's the silence. For me, it's just, and listening to the wind through the pines, gonna miss that.
Yeah, I'll definitely miss that stuff too. All the fish jumping, the beavers, and yeah.
Do you feel cleansed in a way? Your soul, maybe, perhaps? You feel a little more relaxed?
Yeah, it's definitely a unique experience that will change you.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, yeah.
Being out in nature and experiencing all those things, yeah, it's too bad it has to end.
I know, you just want it to go on. Oh. Sky's getting better. Look at the reds coming out. Oh, well, I think you need a coffee, my friend.
I think so too.
Let me go get you one.
So last night, Mark, look what we found.
Yeah, I know. Give it a shake.
I don't want to shake it too much because it might puncture the bag it's in. But if you look inside, you can tell what you heard was glass. We found that on the way in to just coming up from the water there after getting some water.
This was embedded in the ground, sticking up like that. And oftentimes, especially in high summer, I'll walk around barefoot around camp. And matter of fact, Iain and I were walking barefoot around the camp at Radiant Lake. Can you imagine stepping on this and this going through your foot? And then you gotta do a portage? No, this is silly. This is what the problem with paddle-in sites on an access lake. People think they can just, nature, yahoo it up and then just not respect it and leave all this stuff behind. It's not even supposed to be in the park. There's a glass and bottle ban for a reason. Hopefully some of us out there who don't get the message will get the message that this is just so wrong. It's a hazard and it doesn't belong out here.
It's a big lake to paddle across. It's nice and calm, but it kind of gives you that time to think about all the things that happened on the trip as you're going.
Oh man. Now what? Pack up and go home.
You know what?
right?
I want to go see that view from the crater again. How's it look?
Oh, there's lots of color change. Oh yeah.
Oh, the legs are so, you can feel the legs sore coming up these stairs.
Oh, yeah. Glad we're not carrying a canoe up that.
Wow.
Not much over there, but over here, and then look way up there. Look at all the reds and yellows, and I'm gonna miss this place.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword because, you know, I am sad to leave this beautiful place, but I'm looking forward to seeing the kids and the family and the wife and all that again. So
you want to, yeah, it's good to get out, but it's also you want to go, but you don't want to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah. My pleasure.
Lots of fun. Learned a lot. Ready for the next time.
Yeah, you don't have to go to gym for next month now, eh?
No.
Oh, work.
Definitely not.
Good stuff.
Oh, it's Cajun.
Onion ring
Okay.
and a jumbo dog.
Oh, yeah, it's magically delicious.
I'm speechless.